Bonjour, Game Blog. This is Phil Spencer, head of Xbox. Thanks for your support.
So, first things first, Mr. Spencer, I have a present for you. We know at Gameblog that you love t-shirts, and so we decided to give you our t-shirts. The t-shirts of our website.
I love Gameblog. So that's awesome.
So you can put it whenever you want. Not
Thank
right
you.
here.
No, I won't change right here.
But it's the first thing we had to do before ask questions.
Thank you very much. That's
Thanks
great.
to you. How do you judge or do you evaluate the situation of Xbox One in Latin countries like, you know, Spain, Italy, France?
Yeah.
Mainly France for us.
You know, I know that in order for us to really reach our global goals for Xbox, we want to have success in all of the markets, and the Latin or the kind of Southern European markets that you talk about, Italy, France, Spain, are really important to us. And I know right now we need to do better in those markets. And I want to have, obviously, you know, millions of Xbox fans across Europe. France specifically has been a great gaming country for a very long time. The Paris Game Show has really grown up to be a great show. You have great publishers there. And we will continue to focus on bringing exclusive games to Xbox One that hopefully can attract more and more gamers in France. And it's something that we're going to definitely stay committed to.
So you think the key point is only games, or maybe it could be some applications, or maybe, I don't know, a price cut for the console? I don't know.
Pricing is important.
Yeah.
We know that. You know, we talked about our FIFA bundle with a special price. We know that pricing is critical, but in the end, I think it has to be about the games. Like we've got to lead with the games. Things that we do with entertainment, things that we do with other parts of the system are important, but they are not the central thing. People buy game consoles to play games, and that's why we're so invested in our first-party exclusives right now.
In terms of numbers or figures, what would be the most satisfying numbers in Europe in terms of sales for Xbox One, do you think?
Yeah, I really look at what we've had on the Xbox 360 and trying to grow generation over generation. And many people will obviously talk about Sony's success that they've had, then they're having with PlayStation 4, and they've done a great job with the platform that they have. And bringing their games. But I think for us, it's about growing year over year what we've done with Xbox. We're still growing. We're growing faster than we were with 360. We're selling more Xbox Ones this year than we did last year. We have more games being played. We have more people on Xbox Live. We have the best lineup of games that we've ever had. And I think every year as Team Xbox comes together and looks at the next year, it's always about how can we get better. How can we get better with our platform?
Next question is about Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Because I can remember you telling us that Shenmue 3 was on the top list of the, or Shenmue 1 and 2, on the top list of what the fans wanted on Xbox. So when Shenmue 3 appears on the scene at E3,
yeah,
what do you think? What's on your mind at this moment?
Well, so it's not a surprise to me when things like Shenmue happens, because our industry is not that large. So we kind of know the deals that are going on. You know, the Suzuki-san in the games he's built has been an important figure in video games, just the history and where we are. And I think it's great that he's found some Kickstarter success. I think there's more work yet to do in bringing the Shenmue that people would want this generation, and I know he stays incredibly focused on that. You know, we talk to many people out there about different games that are coming. I know games that are from Japan, many people want to go play, and we'll continue to have conversations with people going
there were
forward.
conversations with Mr. Yu Suzuki?
Absolutely. Like I said, the industry is not we all know each other, whether you're at Sony or at Nintendo or at Microsoft or a developer, and we have many conversations with people about games. You can't do marketing deals with all the games, right? It's just not possible for any of the platforms. So you have to pick games that you think are going to have the best impact on your platform from a third-party standpoint. My focus has really been on growing our first-party and our first-party exclusives. And you see our lineup this year that we have, and any time and money that you spend on short-term exclusives or marketing deals, it does dilute or takes away from what you can do with your first-party games. And that's my focus, is on continuing to build a great lineup of exclusive games for Xbox fans.
So you're not too disappointed about Shenmue? It's all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say disappointed.
Yes.
I'm happy that, honestly, that Suzuki-san gets a chance to build a game. It's similar to when I see a game like The Last of Us, and people will say, well, don't I wish that that game was on Xbox? Well, yes, but it's a great game, and I think for our art and our industry, it's great to see studios like Naughty Dog or Remedy or Suzuki-san going off and creating games that we think will matter in the history of gaming. And not all of them will be Xbox games, but in the kind of larger scope, having more great games being built, I think is just good for our industry.
Okay. We'll talk about Gamescom. There is no PS4 at Gamescom. There is almost no Nintendo. What's the importance of being for Microsoft in Cologne? You say Cologne in
Cologne, yeah.
Okay. How important is it for you?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest game show here in Europe. It's at a time when we can look forward to the games that are coming this fall and really highlight the great exclusives like Halo and Gears and Fable and Forza, and our partnership with Crystal Dynamics and Square on Tomb Raider. It's just a great opportunity for us to show the games that are coming in the middle of an incredibly important market for us here in Europe. The Xbox fans that showed up, there in the front, they're standing up and yelling. It's fantastic to see that. So I was like kind of traveling around and getting to spend time with the fans. And frankly, I did a question and answer with them actually before I came in here. And I love hearing directly from the customers, directly from the gamers that are playing Xbox, what's important to them. So getting to come here, spend time with the fans, getting to talk to the press, hearing what questions people ask, Shenmue. But it's all great in helping frame a worldwide view of what we need to do with our product to make it better.
And about Paris, there's a show called Paris Game Week. At the end
October.
In October.
Yeah.
So as Sony is not in Cologne, and they are going to be more on the Paris Games Week, do you intend to go to this event too, and maybe have a conference or maybe some announcements?
I don't know what our plan is. We haven't made our plan yet.
But it's possible.
Well, Xbox will be there.
Okay.
I don't want to chase what someone else does. It's Sony made their own decisions and not having a press briefing here.
It's more about try to be in Paris, which is quite a great city in the world.
Absolutely.
It's not about not really about Sony.
Yeah, the greatest thing about coming to these kind of shows, as I said, is to getting time to talk about what we're doing with our product with customers all around. The hard part is it's a lot of work for the teams to get things ready at a time when now late October is okay, but teams are trying to finish their games, build their games, and the amount of just focus that a studio has to put on getting things ready for a briefing and then a show where people might come in and play the game. Those things, and people, I don't know if they get this, but those don't always help build the game. You usually have to kind of create a subset of the game and spend a lot of time there. So the number of shows that we can go to in any year and really show up in a big way, I was proud of what we were able to do here. but it is just limited because it does take away from the team's ability to get the real work done.
Let's talk more about Xbox. I got the list from fans that voted for the most wanted games with backwards compatibility. I had the top 10 printed, and I wanted to know in the top 10, how many of them can you tell me you're sure are going to be backwards compatible?
The top 10 changes a little bit. The nice thing today is we showed the list of publishers that have signed on to support backward compatibility, and the list was great. Like when you looked, the other thing I'm seeing now, which is really cool, is when new games come out, like Rainbow Six, Ubisoft deciding to include the back compat version of older versions in the purchase of that game. You saw Just Cause 3 comes with Just Cause 2. I think that's a real we announced our Gears of War is coming with 1, 2, 3, and 4 from back compat. That's a really interesting unlock. I know last time I looked, Red Dead was at one of the top. I know there's some of the Call of Duty games are at the top.
It's Black Ops 2.
Black Ops is right now. Halo Reach was in there. We definitely look at that list a lot, and it's.
But you can't tell me which one.
No.
I tried.
You tried.
Where are we with the resolution of installation time for games?
It's getting better.
It's getting better.
Yeah. The teams that were really there at launch, they were running fast to get to launch and maybe didn't spend all of the time to deal with install times and patch and other things that happen. The tools that we're giving developers for disk layout and install times so that you can start playing a game before the game's fully installed. We track it on a monthly basis. We look at the install times for major games, and it is getting better. But frankly, today's games are also just very big relative to what they were last generation. Many of these games are tens and tens of gigabytes, and you need to move that data onto the hard drive, and some of it is just it takes more and more time.
Okay, I'm coming back to backwards compatibility because I wanted to know how many people are on coding, because it's software. If I understand, how many people are coding on each game, because it might be. I think it's huge.
No, we don't do any programming per game. So the emulator runs across all the games. And we run a game on the 360. We run it and we capture some data, but there's no developer for each individual game. So the team did a very good job building one emulator for the Xbox 360. They run the whole game, capture some shader information. They look at the primitives of what the game is actually doing in the PowerPC code from the x86, and then they build algorithmically. The emulator builds the x86 version of what the game would look like, and we download that, and that is done automatically by the emulator itself.
And how many people are on this team?
It's tens of people. It's not 100 people. Yeah, but they're very smart.
I guess so. I'll finish this interview with questions more about you. What do you think about virtual reality, actually, right at the moment?
I think it's an interesting technology. I've played most of the technologies that are out there. I've played with Morpheus, Valve's VR, Oculus. We have a partnership with Oculus, and I see some interesting games being created in that space. I think it'll still take time for creators to fully understand how to utilize virtual reality. I do think input is something that they're continue to work on. I also think that the technology, frame rate, performance still has some room to grow as well. We're focused on making Windows 10 a great VR platform, working with Valve, working with Oculus on that, which has been fantastic. But I think it's really exciting that the games industry is yet again nurturing a new technology. We did that with artificial intelligence. We've done it with 3D rendering, and you see it again with VR. And I think it's just a great thing for our industry.
And what was your best experience in VR?
My best experiences to date, the ones that have been most immersive are probably the slower based. I can't really pick one, but I'd say more the slower based kind of movement. I think that the work that Valve has with their Lighthouse technology, where you can move around in the space, probably for me, because I'm spending more time with HoloLens, where you can move around, feels a little more natural. But even games like Lucky Tales on Oculus, I find is very fun, and I'm having good when they move me around really quickly and somehow like floating. Sometimes it doesn't feel so good. So it's, again, I think that the developers and creators still are getting the equation right.
Okay. What are you playing at the moment?
Yeah, this is a fun time for me because I'm spending a lot of time playing our games coming this fall. So Halo 5, Forza 6, Fable Legends is out on beta.
You're quite lucky, you know that?
Yeah, I say this and I always feel bad because people say that. Yeah, I do get to play the games when they're broken too, but it is fun, and I am very lucky. When I'm playing on my retail and I'm playing games that are done, I play a lot of Destiny. People see that. I play Forza quite a bit. Yeah, so that's probably where I'm spending most of my retail gaming side. But the betas that are out, Gigantic is a fun beta right now. Fable's a fun beta. And have always been a big Forza fan. So Forza 6 right now, I have it set up in my office. And I'm running laps in the rain. And it's challenging in the rain. It's a lot of fun.
You can answer only by yes or no for the next question. You don't have to tell a name or something. Is there a game that has not been announced yet on which you're already playing and enjoying, really enjoying?
Let me think. Not announced that I'm already playing.
And enjoying?
No, not really.
No, not yet?
Not yet. Because we will announce them, like our Halo Wars 2 announced, which I think is awesome. That we've announced that, so that one wouldn't count. And the things playing early on in the announce, it's more, paper ideas and little prototypes. So we're probably too early to say I'm playing something that's incredibly fun.
But
that's unannounced.
Something exists.
Oh, there's definitely unannounced things. Yes.
Sure. Which game, which is not on Xbox or PC, have you been playing lately and you've been enjoying too?
So not on Xbox and not on PC.
Yeah.
So like a PlayStation game.
Yeah. Or
Nintendo.
There's Wii U too.
Yeah.
And 3DS.
Yeah. I think Bloodborne was a good game. I had fun playing Bloodborne on my PlayStation. I think that's a good game that I was playing. Splatoon, I think, is a good game on the Wii U. I think Nintendo always does a fantastic job with their games. That's another game that is doing well. On my phone, funny enough, I'm playing Hitman Go, which is great. Like it's a very kind of turn-based Go type of game, but Hitman Go on my phone is a lot of fun.
I have only two last questions.
Okay.
They are a bit weird, but you can answer them, I think. Is there a question you've been asked too many times and you're fed up with it?
No, I'm not.
No?
I enjoy the dialogue. Even you and I have never met, but it's interesting the angle that people take on questions. The area that I get that sometimes we get into is the kind of against us, against Sony or against Nintendo, and those are the things I don't find is a very productive part of our industry. But in general, no, I very much enjoy the conversations with the press.
Okay, and is there a question you've never been asked, never, and you literally burn inside to be asked because you want to answer it?
It's usually the opposite. I will get asked something that I know the answer to that I can't answer. So that is the hardest thing. And whether it's on Twitter and people ask me and I get in trouble from PR all the time, so you'll ask me something and I want to give the answer, but it's not the right time to give the answer. So for the last year, backward compatibility is something that I knew we were working on. And in December of last year is when we kind of knew it was going to work. And as people were asking me about trading in their Xbox 360s to go get an Xbox One and their games, and I just wanted to tell people, like, hold on to your 360 games, but I couldn't tell them at that point because we didn't know it was actually going to work. So usually it's those kind of situations where I want to be able to answer, but I have to bite my tongue and wait until we know.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.